Okay, and we are back. Spartans Finest, as you see there, up to 298th place, and here is how we are getting there. Oldest replay I have is not that one, it is this one. The only attack I have not yet participated in. This is Choke Point. We took it down in 9 hits. And actually, for those of you who are regulars to my videos here, this will be a great way to introduce you to the rest of Spartans Finest. And as you'll see here, got some real killers on this task force. A couple of you have hit me up on the YouTube asking for footage like this, operation attacks, and that's what we'll be showing here today. A couple of you, and boy, I'm forgetting your name, I apologize, but somebody was asking, you're in a 50-man task force, you're doing bottleneck, and you know, everybody starts somewhere, and I know you mentioned T-Med. Now, I like T-Med as much as the next guy. In fact, if you see there, I have T-Med loaded, because that's what I attack NPC bases with myself. However, if you genuinely want to progress in this game, if you'd like to take a shot at higher level ops, or as we're doing, a shot at the leaderboard, you must use all Zukas. Almost every single attack here. Of the 9 attacks, you'll see one of them was heavy Zuka, and the rest were all pure Zuka. That is literally the name of the game when it comes to operations. So without any further ado, let's get started here with SD, Sour Diesel's attack on TechCrunch. This is a solo. Now some of you guys, if you are doing about the bottleneck level of operations, you might recognize this looks a lot like the base called Gambit. The difference here is this one is littered with mines, and you don't nearly have as clear of a path up to the kill zone. So SD is right here snaking his way up there. Oh, little finger mishit, but quick recovery, no damage. Moving to the 9 o'clock position. Now, let me correct myself right there. Different task forces will use different, let me slow this down to regular speed, different terminology to describe a position on the screen. We here in Spartans Finest use the clock face orientation. So the area above the core will be 12, below the core is 6, and left and right will be 9 and 3 respectively. For example, the girls, the Zukas right here, this is what we in Spartans Elite would call 9 o'clock. The flamethrower highlighted, that would be 12 noon. That cannon, 3 o'clock. That machine gun down there, 6 o'clock. So for future reference in all of my videos, when referring to clock face positions, this is what we're using. The girls are at 9, flamethrowers at 12, machine gun is at 6, cannons over here at the 3 o'clock position. So you see the key on a lot of these bases with the big shield is just get into position where you can, if sometimes you'll need to clear defenses, and sometimes you just camp, shock out, and get the job done. Sour Diesel SD is one of our finest. We're going to speed this up here. See, big shield. Everybody in this task force is running boosted operations. We all go full boost. It's the name of the game at this level. And that was SD. Now, a lot of solos you see here. There are 6 bases on Operation Choke Point for the 10 of us. Now, I wasn't needed on this particular op, so we did it in 9. But the rule kind of is you've got to solo the base when there's this few of us. If you don't, set your buddy up for the next hit. I'm going to bring this down to double speed here. And this is what Fingers did here on Quick Charge base. isn't trying to solo it, but he's going to clear some defense and set up his buddy, our next attacker on this base, so that the next guy can kill it. And I'll just kind of zoom out there. So you see this entire, the landing zone, the walk up, whoever hits here next is going to be able to not have to burn up GBE, not have to be throwing smokes early in the attack. No, not exactly what sure or what happened there, but it was a good amount of clearing. You can see there that the following attack is going to be saving a lot of GBE. There's no shock launchers, there's no mines. Well done there by Fingers for the clearing. All right, next up, Bix. This guy is literally an assassin. We'll start at double time here. A lot of grapplers on this base, strange attractors. He is, okay, he's going to head over to the side and probably up and clear up all of those rockets. Yep. Now, this was 4 days ago, so you'll forgive me if I'm a little foggy on the memory of how he hit this. Now, for those of you, I'm going to bring this down just a single time speed. For those of you running TMed, and like I said, I love TMed too, but not for operations. Watch how quickly, I think it was 46 when he started clearing. 1 minute 46 on the replay ends here. In literally 10, maybe 11 seconds, he wipes out all of the defenses that are up in this area. If you tried to do this with TMed, you just flat out wouldn't. You cannot do this much clearing with TMed. Now in a second here, he's going to flare. There's the flare. Now using our clock face orientation, that flare would be considered to be at, let's call that 11:30. Not quite straight up noon, but about 11:30, the way we use the terminology and the clock face orientation. Now at this point, again, kind of like Sour Diesel's attack, when you're in that position where nothing's really firing on you, and yeah, that machine gun just, okay, no one's in range of the machine gun now. Now, there are some grapplers picking off a girl here, a girl there, but, you know, he's still got 60, 70 Zookas there. And you'll see, again, the name of the game is just boom, boom, boom on those Zookas. You can't do this with tanks. You can't do this with riflemen. You can't do this with heavies or scorches or even warriors. It's Zooka and Zooka and more Zooka. And after you're done with that, even more Zooka, some more. Okay, low point. Spartacus and Jersey. Double team here. Okay, perfect example. This is a lot to try to solo, so what he's going to do is he's going to set himself up, clear some defenses, so on the second hit, he is able to take down the base. Doesn't have to solo it if you can duo it. Oh, now I think I remember this. This was a very brilliant attack. Yep. 2 boats of Zooka, and they are going to go to the dead zone between the 4 rockets. Lost a couple there on some unusual walking by the girls, but shock out there, and because the rockets won't fire because they're in the blind zone of the rockets there, and continue to clear, get that SL. And so now on his next attack, and I don't have to see it to know what it was, he's going to bring Zookas in and literally just smash down the core. Oh, the continuation of this one. Yeah, perfect. So 6 boats of Zookas. Shock on there. Now, I think because he used a lot of shocks, I think he's actually out of GBE here. That's why you don't see another shot going up there. But mission accomplished. Perfectly done. Mission accomplished. And you'll see now on his next hit, he's going to come in here. Pure Zooka. He's going to, I'm not sure he smokes up or not. He's going to approach. I bet he does smoke up. Smoke up right in front of those machine guns. There come the girls. That's the other thing. They'll walk in them in a streamline. Textbook double smoke because they will spread out a bit. And probably a triple shock. Yep. Triple shock and boom those down. He's now going to flare over to 6 o'clock. And that rocket helps him get out of the way there, the rocket fire. And that is just exactly what we'd call 6 o'clock, right below the core. And again, just like Sour Diesel, just like earlier attacks, once you just boom it down the shield, you don't have to shock anything, and the girls will do their thing, and boom. Perfect execution there when it comes to, if you can't take the base in a solo, set yourself up so that the second one that it drops. Now here's Dredge. Those of you who are doing about the bottleneck level might see Dredge. I believe that's about when it shows up, but you probably aren't used to seeing this much action in front of the core. I can't remember who it is exactly, but someone back when we were Spartans Elite showed us this way to hit this base instead of just going at the front corner, what we'd call 7 or 8 o'clock. And that's to sneak around the back with all Zuka, farm a little bit of these power cells for some extra GBE, and then you're going to walk to the 12 o'clock position, kind of right next to that boom cannon. We'll see how he does it here. Brick's getting a little far ahead, and there she goes. But you won't really need her. We're all carrying, like I say, full boost and 40% extra damage thanks to the tribe boost. So he's going to throw 2 shocks, one on these rockets, one on these mortars. Yep, textbook. And then watch how quick that core drops. 1 salvo, 2, 3, and Baduya. That's the name of the game when it comes to higher level ops. Now, I'm not trying to pretend that we're going to be the #1 team in the country, or in the world, excuse me. We're not. But we play at a fairly elite level, and the reason we do that is because we're using all Zuka attacks 90% of the time. Okay, here's back to quick charge. Remember earlier we saw our friend Fingers, who kind of set up juicers here. Now look at that. No smoke yet, not until he gets right there. So he saved a good number of smokes thanks to our friend Fingers. And here he goes now. Rockets first. He's going to move on over in front of those machine guns, shock them, and just continue the clear party. And as we've seen several times on this op, the name of the game is get into a place where you can just park the girls in front of the shield and just clear. And that's what you're going to see happening here. Boom, 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 boom. And okay, granted this is 4 times, but you see the girls are just dropping that core. The name of the game is troop damage, and the Zukas have more than anyone else. Can't do that with warriors, and you sure can't do that with T-Med. So again, nothing against T-Med. You can use it for NPC bases. That's nice and great. I used the TRM, Tank Rifle Medic, when I was pushing leaderboard. Boosted, that has a place in single player, not in Ops. In Ops, the name of the game is Bring Your Girls. Okay, we get to the final base here, and Stump maybe could have tried to solo this, but since we had extra attacks, like I say, I'm still waiting in the wings too. They didn't actually need my attack this op, but what Stump's going to do here is he's going to just clear some defenses. He's going to set up the next guy, which is Chuck Norris, so that he doesn't have to use as many shocks, doesn't have to use as much GBE. He can save it for when he's right in front of the core. And watch this, just clearing. A lot, like I say, in a 10-man, a lot of your hits are going to be solo attempts. But an attempt like this, where the intention is just clear the defense, this is a very well executed attack. Because the rockets that were covering the beach would have mandated quite a bit of smoke to get up to this position here. About 9 o'clock is where we're going to camp out. And this op finishes in just 9 with this wonderful hit by Chuck here. See Norris. Norris is our one guy who has 5 troop damage statues, and I want you guys to see just how quickly this core drops once he gets there. Slow it down and bring it to double speed. So it's going to flare to about a 9 o'clock position. Oop. Yeah, I gotta watch those shocks. You know, the girls, depending on, a lot of our players play without troop health, and so those girls can be susceptible, but it doesn't matter. He's lost a few, but watch how quickly this drops. 1, 2, and 3, and that's the power of 5 boosted troop damage statues, the extra 40% of Zuka damage thanks to the tri boost, and down goes Operation Choke Point in 9 attacks. I was not even needed. And again, I'm on record. I am the weakest op attacker in our group here, far and away, no doubt about it. But they keep me around because I'm pretty good at getting intel. So that was one step there, or one up by the Spartans Finest. We are pushing up that leaderboard, guys. Look for us 2, 3, 4 weeks. We should be right at that top 50. And this is Saps. Hope you enjoyed this one, and be back tomorrow with another one.